Hey guys, this is Reflections of My Evolution. I've been called back to send out another message. If this message has come into your field of vision, it is because you are becoming self aware. Nothing that you see is random or a coincidence in a simulation. This message found you because your time to wake up inside of your own simulated reality is right now. I am an open channel for higher dimensions, and they wanted me to come back. Dude, I miss coming here. Um, I don't hang out in the 3D like I used to much because the last thing I want to do is be surrounded by all of my old shitty ways of thinking. So that's why I don't hang out in the 3D much anymore. But anyways, getting back to this message that they called me to, they sent out to me for me to put into words. Um, I wanted to thank you guys, the ones who do find the channel or who find me. Thank you for finding this space, and I just wanted to say that I love all of you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Um, what they want me to pretty much talk about today, and they really want me to hit this subject hard because social media is a big, big way of creating your reality in the 3D world. So it's very important that you guys know about how this type of technology is being used to create your reality in your own simulation. So they really want me to get into this and really um, explain as much as I can how much social media platforms, forums, or any type of social media interaction could have a big impact on your experience in your own simulation. Okay. Um, if you are mentally able to catch repetitive patterns that are connected to your thoughts and assumptions, and if you happen to be able to start to see or recognize patterns, um, which is basically called in a 3D pattern recognition in your day-to-day life, in your simulated reality, then if you're at this place where you can detect these patterns, and that means you're becoming awake, and that should be your number one sign. Okay. If you do happen to have the technology that gives you access to be able to view this channel, then what that should tell you is that the particular life path that you chose um, involves for you to use this particular type of technology in the 3D in all of its different forms that is available. Um, this download is to address an important reminder to all of you guys who find this channel. And that is how technology, especially social technology, can be used for creation in your own personalized human game. Um, just to give you a little bit of a backstory, during your unconscious state, you didn't really know that everything that comes into your awareness is for one reason, and that is for you guys to create. Technology is seen as a form of advancement to make your life more convenient. And this is the story the 3D puts out so that technology advancement can be supported and you can keep using this type of technology to create. The third dimensional world will advertise all forms of media to keep all of you creating and engaged. And this is why, social platforms, social media has first arrived and has continued to grow and even take new shape and even form. As you continue to gain a higher level of understanding, what you guys will start to notice is that your human simulated reality is going to be presented to you in two different formats. The first format that you're going to notice is when your senses of audio and visual are being used when you are connected to a device, which in the 3D is going to appear to be separate from you. Um, and these devices um, are basically, like a laptop, your cellular phone, your PC, or a tablet computer. Okay. And the second way that your simulation will be shown to you is by the use of your physical body, the physical body that you manifested to come into your own simulated reality, or what is basically your avatar. And you're going to experience your simulation through your avatar. And your avatar is automatically synced to all of your senses. Okay, so you're going to experience your 3D physical world through your body and through your senses that are part of your body. And they're going to work all in conjunction and together as one unit. Okay. One format of technology, and it's the one that I'm going to be speaking about regarding this download, is used in high level simulated reality that you're in, and it's going to show up in a two-dimensional way and also the three-dimensional way or form. So it's going to be 2D and 3D, and it's going to alternate between both. Okay, and these forms are things, for example, that you see in your 3D world, like television and media in screen format in connection with a device. Um, like I mentioned earlier, your phone, your cell, laptop, PC, or even a tablet computer. Any type of device that in the 3D world appears to be external to you. Okay. And this particular format will use your field of vision, or basically your sense of sight, by scanning whatever you're reading or watching. Your sense of hearing is also going to be used as well, and it's going to be used for you to be engaged in this type of format in your simulation. And these two senses are going to be used to create your reality when you're experiencing your simulation through your sense of hearing and through your sense of sight. For those of you who have gained a high level of nervous system regulation, what you will notice is that social forms of media are no longer going to cause an emotional reaction from you whenever you read something you don't agree with or causes you to become upset. And it's also not going to be any longer a threat to your new conscious mindset or way of thinking. However, social forms of media that are consumed during your unconscious state, or also when you are first starting to wake up and become aware that you're inside of your own simulation, um, if you're between your unconscious state and barely waking up, you can possibly recreate harmful and even toxic patterns that you picked up when you were unconscious. And it would cause them to become embedded in your thought stream. Now, your thought stream is what in the 3D world is better known as your subconscious mind. Okay? And what this means is that your subconscious mind will be exposed to an environment where continuous patterns will be picked up by repetition. Your subconscious mind begins to absorb your repetitive patterns. And these are things that you don't feel or can see that are happening. But it's happening inside of your mind. And what this starts to create are patterns of thought, which will eventually become an assumption or even a story or just a pattern of thinking that will be connected to any type of an emotional trigger. The reason for this download that was sent to me is to remind all of you guys that know and are self-aware that you are a main character in your simulation to use social forms of media while still remembering that you are a creator. Keep in mind that whatever you repeatedly gravitate towards, or that um, your attention always goes towards, or with your focus and attention, what this will create is an open invitation to create, whether you are aware that you're doing this or to not. Every time that you engage your focus and you mentally consume any form of social media or enter into virtual social platforms, your creator mind will have wide and open access to your early foundation programming. And what this means is that social forms of media will expose you to your sleeper mindset. And what your sleeper mindset is everything that was created while you were in your unconscious state as a creator. So it's basically your old ways of thinking that caused the 3D that you see around you right now and all of your experiences that you have in your day-to-day life inside of your simulation. So this brings me to this part of the download, which is very important. You guys need to learn to sort carefully and to sift to what your 3D world calls a feed when you are actively visiting or entering these types of places like social media forums or even social platforms. Okay? When you become self aware and that you know that you are creating your reality by what you see, read, and mentally entertain, you're going to naturally start to become more selective with the quality and type of media that you mentally consume. This part may probably seem a little bit weird, because you're going to feel the peer pressure of the 3D world and everything that it shows you, and that it shows you all of these kinds of people using social media and platforms for success in whatever it is that they're doing, or to have forms of growth in business or whatever it is that you do um, as a hobby or as a creative project. Okay? But don't feel bad if you notice that you are experiencing this, what I'm about to mention. If you are losing interest in participating in virtual social platforms or social forms of media, just know that this is normal. Because what is happening here is that when you become a conscious creator, you're not going to have a high tolerance to being surrounded or immersed in your old toxic, shitty ways of thinking from your past or your unconscious programming. And this may cause you to reduce the use of your social media or to be exposed to it, right? You're going to realize that you are not hooked in like you were before, being always connected to these forms of media 24/7 and always checking your phone every few minutes to see, and read your comments or interact in these types of media forms. Okay? And what's also going to happen is that once you realize that social media and any type of social media platform is just a repeat of your old, unconscious programming, is that you're going to change the way that you use social media platforms, and it won't be used the same way it was when you were in your unconscious state. Just to let you know, this simulated reality that you're in is an experience that is entirely catered to you, the main character. And this simulation is fluid. And what this means is that it's in constant state of calibration. So it's always changing as it detects your mind is changing. And it's always going to run on whatever your personalized patterns are. When you begin to reach higher levels of your own awareness in your personalized simulated reality, what you will start to notice is that not much is looking real anymore. This is the part that may cause you to become confused. And it's okay if you are, because I'm about to explain if this hasn't resonated with you yet, okay? The reason things are starting to look more artificial and more fake, than what you remember them being is because your unconscious mind, when you were in your unconscious state, trained you or programmed you to believe that what you see around you is real. And what you have been looking at this whole entire time, and the reason why it's changing the way it looks is because what you have been surrounded by this whole entire time is AI, which is what the 3D is barely starting to introduce, which is known as artificial intelligence. What the 3D world calls AI, or artificial intelligence, is in fact what this simulation really is and what you are inside of experiencing right now. But it is happening at a much higher functioning level, a level that has been undetectable to your eyes because your unconscious mind didn't have its own self awareness when you were in your unconscious state as a creator. So you were pretty much looking at everything around you based on what your programming was, and it was what it was teaching you and trying to get you to buy into by your patterns. Okay? This part is also gonna, not many people are gonna get this at first, and that's okay. This may sound a little bit strange, and even it may blow your mind, a little bit unrealistic. But you will get to a level of self awareness where you will start to understand this. Okay? The people or the characters, in your simulation are similar to AI, or what the 3D is presenting to you as AI. But there is a big difference. Um, the AI that you are in is incorporating or using higher forms of technology. What could be uh, known as or called high intelligence biotech, okay, which is the combination of using biology, right, and incorporating technology in that together. And this is the type of technology that can make a human body, your body that you're in, feel and look very real. And also, you can see it moving on your own avatar as you use it when you move, and also with the characters and the people that are here in this simulation with you. You're going to see them move like a regular person in a regular body does. Okay? Um, if your level of self awareness is here, then you know that what you see around you right now is in your third dimensional world is already your past. Okay? Um, Nothing happening in the 3D is in real time, even though it's going to show up because of the concept of time, like it's happening fresh and in real time right now. The third dimension is actually slower because it's a physical realm and it's much more dense and compact and can be considered to be heavy. Okay, so it's going to move slower. All right, guys, this pretty much completes the download. Um, uh, I don't want you guys to feel too much of being in shock by what you heard in this download. Just understand that this level of awareness is going to come with time. So if this does not resonate with you and you can't grip or mentally process what I talked about, you will eventually get to this level of awareness and you will start to see with your own eyes what I just, talked about. Okay? Because all of us are at different levels of consciousness, awareness. So this download is basically just to let you know what you're going to start to see and what you're going to start to figure out with your own mind. Okay? I'm going to take this moment to thank all of you guys for your presence. The